this is Gina from HauntedFlower.com and HauntedFlowerReviews.com, and today I am reviewing Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. Or, extremely loud and incredibly heart-wrenching, which is more or less what it feels like. This film is directed by Stephen Daldry, and it is based on the novel by Jonathan Safran Foer, if I'm saying that right, and it stars Tom Hanks as the father, Sandra Bullock as the mother, and Thomas Horn as the little boy, Oscar. Oscar loses his father in the 9/11 attack on the World Trade Center. Why a small jeweler who has his own shop had a meeting in the World Trade Center that day really remains to be discovered, because one thing that this movie leaves us with is a lot of unresolved questions, unfortunately. A year later, young Oscar is still trying to come to terms with his father's death. He and his mother are kind of at odds with each other, and he discovers a key in his father's closet and decides he's going to go on a reconnaissance mission the way he always did when his father sent him on one, to figure out what this key goes to. And in some way, this might still keep him close to his father. And it's so sad. Something you have to understand about this boy is he is definitely a very unusual boy. The movie doesn't come out and say what he has. The closest you get is that he might be someone with Asperger's, but not quite, because it wasn't definitive. He has a lot of phobias, and he has difficulties talking to people and difficulties understanding what the boundaries are, and so it makes for a lot of interesting interactions. Along his journey, he talks to many, many, many people. Some of them on the list are the mysterious The Renter character, who is played by Max von Sydow, and he is by far the most interesting character in this film, as he cannot speak and spends most of his dialogue writing or responding with his hands, which have yes and no tattooed on them. Also along the way, he runs into Viola Davis and Jeffrey Wright and numerous other very interesting characters. This is a very eclectic cast. This boy's shut-in behaviors are so sad, and yet he's a master scrapbooker, and you kind of wonder how his mind works, because he's very into numbers and counting and understanding things, and he just understands things in a very different way than most of us. And so I spent most of the movie just trying to figure this kid out, because the way he reacted to situations was just so unusual. This movie has super heavy themes of the 9/11 tragedy, and you might as well just bring a box of Kleenex, because there were at least like 4 good points in the movie where I could have cried, and one where I actually did. And it's just sad. It's a sad movie. But what I could hear from most of the audience is that they thought it was really good. Nobody moved when the credits happened. If I have a complaint about it, my biggest complaint would be there are so many unresolved questions. And after talking to someone who had read the book, it seems that some of those questions were answered in the book. You get a much bigger backstory on some of the most interesting characters that you really couldn't put into this movie, but would have been a lot more enriched if they had. But what are you going to do? I think that the title of the movie is very strange. I'm guessing it must be the same title as the book, but it just, for me, it doesn't attract me to the movie. And even the trailer is like, really? This is what this kid's doing? He's going on this journey, and it doesn't make any sense. He has to know that it doesn't really mean anything, but oh, it's so sad. And so if you want to go see an emotional movie that has some pretty good acting in it and a very confusing young boy, then this is your movie. I'm a lot sadder for the experience. Kind of bummed out my day. Thank you for watching my review. I hope I gave you enough information to go on so that you can make your own decision. And I hope you'll join me again next time for another movie review. Bye, guys!
If you like this review, go to my site at HauntedFlowerReviews.com. I also have a podcast on iTunes. Please leave me ratings and comments. Also, we have a store, HauntedFlower.com, where you can find the best online apparel and accessories from movies, TV shows, anime, and more. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/hauntedflower, and that's where we have all of our contests too, so you can win free stuff. Go to indiemojo.com if you live in Indianapolis, and you can find out how to go to free movies.